Darlings, 10 past 8. I'm doing keto in the cupboard today. I can see I'm running a little late. In fact, I'm still in my dressing gown. So for those of you who are coming to see me this morning at work, I will be on time. I promise. Now, this week I have been talking, all things S is going to be our topic. So having said that, I did start yesterday with an M, which was marketing mischief, where I had a go at Nestle's Milo for marketing and exploiting our children. But today, as an S, I want to talk to you about something we call sugar. Sugar, okay? Now, weirdly, we have a little dog called Sugar, but that's a side issue. What is the big deal about sugar? This is what people often say to me. What's the big deal about it? You know, we've all been eating sugar for a long time. What's the big deal? Well, there's a couple of big deals. One of them is that sugar, I'm going to explain it to you. It's made up of two molecules. It's made up of glucose, which our body uses for energy, and it's made up of fructose. So those two molecules together make sucrose, which is what we know as table sugar. Now, the things that are different these days compared to, you know, the olden days before, I guess, we had a lot of processed food, is that sugar is now added to the majority of our processed foods, even things that you don't think would have sugar in them, like peanut butter, for example, will have sugar in it. Things like pasta sauces will have sugar added into them. Now, the big deal, right, is that sugar, so glucose puts our insulin up, okay? Our body processes processes glucose via insulin, okay? Now, for all of you people that are insulin resistant, which is a bucket load these days, then insulin will go up when you have your glucose and it will lock your woodshed. Now, the other sort of double whammy with sucrose is that the fructose component is the super sweet component of sugar. It's what makes sugar sweet compared to, say, bread, which is made up of starchy carbohydrates, which are chains of glucose, not nearly as sweet. So the fructose component is the sweet bit. Now, we can't use fructose in our body as it is. Okay, fructose does not put your insulin up, but what it does do is it gets converted straight to fat in the liver because we can't use it. And so then it is stored in the liver as fat. If we are fat burners, we will use it, but what that means is we're using that instead of burning our own logs. Get it? So the problem these days is that we have sugar and or fructose in really high quantities. So, and I'm going to divert a little bit to juices. And I'm doing a segment on juices when I do my marketing mischief, because I am cross as all get out that juice is promoted as being healthy. So what juice is concentrated fructose. And what that means is that instead of eating just the fructose in, say, one apple or one orange, you will eat the fructose component of 5 apples or 5 oranges in one little glass of juice. And the whole thing is these days, nobody's selling a little glass of juice. Even individual serves are like a 500ml bottle. It's a bucket load. So juice is creating a whole pile of fat in our system, which is then stuck in our liver and is one of the biggest contributors to fatty liver. So that's the juice component of it, the fructose bit. Sugar has both fructose and sucrose. So we get a double whammy of putting up our insulin plus storing fat in our liver. So my lovelies, that's basically the little, you know, the what's the big deal about sugar. The third component, I guess, and this is what I want to talk to you about, is that sugar is addictive, seriously addictive. We all know, okay? We all know that 1 is too many and 1,000 is never enough. I know there are a few lucky people that can go out there and just have one chocolate. one square, two squares, maybe one row of chocolate, but the majority of us can't. And that's the kicker. And it's all to do with dopamine, and you know I've done lots of talks about that. So sugar, the big deal is it puts up our insulin, it stores fructose as fat, and it is highly addictive. The fact that companies can market to our children under the guise of health makes me mad. And, you know, it will, look, I'd like to think it will change one day. If I think too hard, I get a bit depressed about it, because actually what's happening now is that through other media channels, YouTube in particular, or, you know, media that children are using, Snapchat and all of those sorts of things, sneaky companies are coming in and putting ads in those because they're not regulated. Television is at least regulated, not particularly well, but it is regulated. But, you know, as I said to you yesterday, Milo is associating itself with kids' sport. Macca's associating itself with kids' sport. They hook their tentacles into something that is good to, I guess, neutralize or hide or cover their negative effect on what their food is doing to our kids. Not just our kids, but us, okay? Us and our kids, so our families as well. So, my lovelies, sugar, I think I talk to a lot of people about this every day. Sugar is highly addictive. This is why we don't want to give it up. I didn't want to give up my Maltesers. I don't even know why I really liked them, but I just did. They were like a little ball of yum. But I now know that it was just a little something to give me some dopamine to help me through what I thought was a difficult day. Or, you know, again, lots of thoughts about it. So, my loves, I better go and get out of the cupboard. Keto in the cupboard. Keto in the closet. I'm not sure. I better go and get dressed. I better go and get ready for work. And I will see you, loves, tomorrow with my next S, which is actually all on keeping it simple. And as you know, I love a good story. So I have another story tomorrow for you. Have a wonderful day, my lovelies. And I will see you soon. Bye, darlings.